Students, good evening.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, doctor.
Good
Okay.
evening,
Good
doctor.
evening, sir.
Okay, today we are going to finalize the remaining part of foreign exchange market. We are going to discuss about geographical arbitrage. As you remember, yesterday we discussed about foreign exchange market and various aspects of foreign exchange market were covered, including features of foreign exchange market, participants of the foreign exchange market, and quotations. And we said that in the foreign exchange market, dealers should provide the exchange rates at which foreign currency will be bought and sold. But sometimes it may happen that some currencies, because they are very soft, their exchange rates are not available in the market. So what can be done is to compute cross rate. A cross rate is an exchange rate of two currencies derived from their exchange rate against another currency. So we said that in order for cross rate to take place, the two conditions must be made. First, there must be a common currency, and second, make sure that common currency has been directly quoted. So cross rate is very important, very significant in the international foreign exchange market because of two main reasons. A cross rate facilitates settlement of international transactions if the exchange rate of currency is not available. And second, a cross rate will enable to check opportunity for so-called triangular arbitrage or intermarket arbitrage. So the cross rate will be compared with the actual market quotation. If they differ, that indicates that there is an opportunity for triangular arbitrage to make a profit. Now remember that the arbitrator will never ever end up with a loss because the arbitrator should evaluate the opportunity before engaging in using that opportunity to make a profit. Now, as far as triangular arbitrage is concerned, the arbitrator is going to check opportunity by computing a cross rate and compare with actual market quotation. So when the difference arises, the arbitrator will be confident regarding profitability of the opportunity. Now, to determine profit from that opportunity, there are processes or procedures to be followed by the arbitrator to ascertain how much is going to be realized as a profit. Now, from the given information, it means that you have to identify a first currency, which is the undervalued currency, then convert first currency into common currency, then convert common currency into second currency, then second currency into first currency. So at the end, you are going to have a first currency at the end minus first currency at the beginning. So the difference will be the arbitrator profit. So this is a profit which can be realized by arbitrator by trading three currencies. That's why we call it a triangular arbitrage. Now, another arbitrage opportunity can be obtained in geographical context. Here we are talking about geographical arbitrage. Here is where the arbitrator buy a currency from the market where that currency is cheap and sell that currency to another market where that currency is expensive. So the difference will be a profit. So geographical arbitrage is a process. It's a process of buying a currency where it is cheap and sell it where it is expensive. Where it is expensive. So the difference will be a profit. You have to buy where the exchange rate of that currency is low and sell where the exchange rate of that currency is high. And
Dr.
here we are
Samani.
talking about geographical location. For
Dr.
example, let's
Samani.
say, okay,
Dr. Samani,
okay.
hatuoni unachokiandika, tukiwa hatuoni kabisa, screen inakuwa ni nyeupe.
Mtu wa setting sasa.
Huyu dokta huyu IT inabidi tumfahamu jina lake kidogo, maana anatusumbua sana. Sisi watu online tunamtegemea yeye aseti mitambo vizuri, ikiende yeye anakaa mbali. Anataka tupate F nini huyu?
Okay. Now you can find that geographical heritage is like when you buy a currency from a market in which that currency is cheap and sell to another market where that currency is expensive. A good example, we can even use our normal experience. You may buy, for example, let's say maize from Arusha because 1 bag of maize is cheap from Arusha, and you can sell it in Kilimanjaro. Maybe you got information that in Kilimanjaro, the bag of maize is high in terms of price. Now from there, you make a profit. So you can see here that the arbitrator will use information. Wanakuona waulizi na ninaona anachoandika. Hello? Hello?
Hatuoni,
Hello?
hatuoni.
Hatuoni kitu hapa. Hatuoni chochote.
Alafu kaka IT, usikae mbali ndugu yangu.
Hapo.
Hapo na kuandika tunaona, sema umechora na rangi nyekundu. Hiyo tumeona.
Sawa.
Usikae mbali sana na darasa bwana. Masaa mawili matatu tutaondoka tu. Tusome wote.
Nafikiria na sisi tunafikiria. Black. Black, yes. Andika hapo hapo.
Tunaona vizuri hapo.
Inaonekana.
Ndugu zangu ni hapo vipi? Hapo vipi hapo? Kama kinaonekana nini?
Tunaona vizuri. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
Alafu IT andika na majina yako kwanza tuyaone hapo.
Andika majina yako IT babu anataka.
Hapo.
Hello.
Tunaona.
John, brother John, haya bwana.
Nakuweka sasa na nini onekana video sionekane. Video. Hapa sionekane video. Station. Kama mpaka itenda. Okay, student, can you read that?
Yes, doctor. Yes,
Online.
doctor. Geographical arbitrage.
Okay. So here, when we are talking of geographical arbitrage, we are talking of where arbitrator is making profit by buying a currency from one geographical area and sell a currency in another geographical area. Now you can see in two geographical areas, there are discrepancies in prices. In one location, the price of that currency is cheap. In another location, the price of that currency is high. So the arbitrator will buy a currency from where that currency is cheap and sell a currency where it is expensive. So the difference will be a profit. So geographical arbitrage here we are saying is a process. Is a process of buying a currency where it is cheap and sell where it is expensive. So the arbitrator here, this can be done in a different geographical location. That is explanation of geographical arbitrage. So in order to gain more understanding regarding this aspect here, we have to use example. Here you have this example. Now, so for example, let's say example, we are having spot rate. You have a bid rate, then ask rate. Let's assume that this is Tanzania. Here is Tanzania. You are given the exchange rate of pound. So the spot rate, that is Tanzania shillings per pound. Maybe 3,200 is a price of pound in terms of Tanzania shillings given by dealer, which is a bid rate, and you are given the ask rate of 3,300 per pound. So a dealer in Tanzania is buying 1 pound at 3,200 Tanzania shillings and is willing to sell that pound at Tanzania shillings 3,300. This is a quotation given by a dealer in Tanzania. The same pound in Kenya, let's say different locations in Kenya, you are given a bid rate and ask rate. Of the same currency, a dealer in Kenya. The spot rate of that dealer, that is Tanzania shillings per pound, here is 300, maybe 400, and then 300, 410. Now you can see in different locations, in different countries, geographical location, the same pound is traded at a different exchange rate. Now, by using the information given here as an arbitrator, you are supposed to analyze and evaluate how would you make a profit from buying and selling pounds from Tanzania and Kenya, where the opportunity of making profit will be. Now you can see here that a dealer in Tanzania is willing to sell 1 pound at 3,300 and is willing to buy it at 3,200 shillings. But in Kenya, another dealer is buying 1 pound at T shillings 3,400 and is selling the same pound at Tanzania shillings 3,410. Now to make a profit, as the arbitrator, what would be your decision by using discrepancies in exchange rates? Now you can see here, you have to go to buy pound from Tanzania. When you go to the dealer in Tanzania, you are in need of pound. So that pound you are going to, the dealer is going to sell it to you at Tanzania shillings 3,300. You have to take your pound. When you move to Kenya, you are there. What are you having? You want to give out pounds and receive T shillings. The dealer in Kenya is willing to buy 1 pound at 3,400 shillings and selling the same pound at 3,410. So when you go to Kenya, the dealer will receive that pound, is going to buy that pound at the buying rate, which is 3,400. But remember, the pound that you give to the dealer in Kenya, you bought this pound at 3,300. So you have a profit of Tanzania shillings 100 per pound. Are we together, student? Online student, are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, doctor.
Yes,
you are
doctor.
together.
Yes.
That is geographical arbitrage. You are supposed to analyze the rate given in the market so that you can identify the opportunity which you can utilize in order to make it profit. Now you can see the same pound is traded in different locations, countries, Kenya and Tanzania. So you are supposed to speculate where can you buy and sell and make it profit. So through that 100 Tanzania shillings per pound. Okay, now let's move and discuss about the forward market. We are done with the spot market. Now let us articulate what is in the forward market. So in the forward market, we are going to discuss various aspects concerning the forward market. Ili hamna njia rahisi ya kufuta hili, mpaka maana mikono yangu inaniuma. Watu wa IT hawa bwana. Sasa mimi nitatumia mkono wangu. Okay. The market. The forward market.
Walimu hatusikii, online hatusikii.
Kuna mjekezo ndio leo mwana kufundisha na wazee stadi ndio. Yo nisaidia kwa leo nakuja na wazee. Sio wewe. Nisaidia tu laptop yangu. Sio mimi kwa nafundisha na wazee. Sio ndio ulisikia ndio kwa tayari. Na mkikapo ameshakimbia tayari. Unataka kufanyia hata mwingine. Ndio kwa sababu nakosa hata nini. Ili mimi kwa maana mimi naanza kufikiria naanza kuteseka pale. Naanza kufikiria.
Progress.
Ini setting nalo tofauti na ya sio. Ni kama una setting na nyingine. Ni sio. Okay, student. Are we together?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
We are together. We are together.
Halo,
Yes, IT.
unatusikia?
Tunakusikia.
Tunakupata.
Yes, maybe. Okay.
Okay. The forward market. Okay, as you remember, foreign exchange market is classified into two. We are having the spot market and the forward market. Division of this market is according to the time where the actual delivery of the trade currency is taking place. So for the case of the spot market, foreign currencies are traded for immediate delivery. But for the case of the forward market, foreign currencies are traded for the future delivery. Here it means that the exchange rate is determined today, but actual delivery of the currency will be made in the future. So the forward exchange rate, here we are saying foreign currencies are traded for future delivery. Here it means that the exchange rate is determined today, but actual delivery of the currency is made sometimes in the future. And how long is going to take depend upon the agreement between the dealer and a customer. It means that that the time for actual delivery of the current is agreed by the two parties. Those parties we are talking about the dealer and the customer. They have to determine how long it's going to take for the actual delivery of the currency to take place. They can agree 1 month forward, 3 months forward, 6 months forward. It depends with the decision of the customer regarding actual delivery of that particular currency. So when you go to the forward market, you are in need of, you want to purchase a particular currency. You have to go and fix the exchange rate, make a contract with a dealer. By setting the exchange rate, at which you are going to pay in the future so as to acquire that particular currency. What is going to be done there is just to make an arrangement regarding the exchange rate. You don't take any currency, but at the maturity, you should go there. They have to give you that currency based on the rate that you have agreed by that particular time. Okay, now, what are the functions of the forward market? What are the functions of the forward market? Functions of the forward market, function. How we are talking about uses of the forward market. The forward market is used for three purposes. The first one, that is for hedging purpose. The second will be for speculation, and the third one, use of it, that is for the arbitrage. For arbitrage. Now, there are three uses of the forward market. That is hedging, speculation, and arbitrage. So when we are talking about hedging, remember that in the forward market, in the international context, in the international business environment, we are having importers, we are having exporters. And transactions are taking place on credit basis, whereby adverse movement of exchange rate will cause the participant in the international transaction to end up with a loss. Now, in order to protect a multinational company against a loss that may arise from unfavorable movement of exchange rate, they need to protect their company cash flow through hedging. So hedging is a process of protecting. It's a process of protecting a company against the unfavorable movement of exchange rate. That is against the adverse movement of exchange rates. That is hedging. That is all about hedging. It means that there is a need to protect your cash flow against the unfavorable movement of exchange rate. Just a minute, please. Okay. Now you can see that the hedging we are talking about here, the hedging is a technique or is a mechanism used to protect a company against the foreign exchange risk. So exporters, importers, and multinational companies do use this hedging to protect their cash flow against the unfavorable movement of exchange rate. how does the forward market be utilized to protect the cash flows of the multinational companies against the adverse movement of exchange rate? It means that in the forward market, this multinational company will go to the dealer and agree the rate at which they are going to use to convert maybe their payables or receivables in another currency. For example, let's say, we are talking about you imported goods from UK. You imported goods. Let's assume you import goods on credit from UK. And then you have been issued an invoice to pay pounds 20,000. But when you're going to pay these pounds, maybe assume that you are given credit period of 1 month. You are going to pay by the end of May 20,000 pounds. But it is today you imported the goods. Now remember that according to the information that we have obtained from forecasters, pound is expected to appreciate relative to Tanzania shillings, which means that Tanzania shillings is expected to depreciate against the pound. So by the time you are going to pay, maybe today exchange rate of T shillings, let's say 1 pound is T shillings, maybe 3,000 per TZ. No, per pound. TZ per pound. That is a today's exchange rate. And you are given a credit allowance of 1 month that you should pay 20,000 pounds by the end of May. But you don't have that money now. You are going to pay in May. But in May, you obtain information from forecasters that this pound is going to be expensive. How much will it be? The forecasters has given you information that 1 pound will be maybe 3,200. That is per pound. And remember, you have obligation in UK to pay the UK supplier 20,000 pounds. And you are here in Tanzania. What you can do, you need this pound so as to pay the UK supplier. You should go to the dealer with T shillings, you buy pound, 20,000 pounds, then you pay the UK supplier. But when you observe this rate here, you will find that pound is going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive. Now what you can do, you can say, okay, let me use the forward market. When you go to the forward market, the dealer can agree the price at which you will pay to buy 1 pound. Let's say when you go to the dealer, you agree that maybe that is the dealer in the forward market. In the forward market, you go to the forward market, and then with a dealer, you agree that 1 pound will buy it at T shillings, 3,050. 3,050. That is per pound. Now it means that by the end of May, the actual exchange rate of pound in the market is 3,000 and what? 3,000? 3,000 and what? No. 3,000 and what? Previously was 3,200. When you go to the market, by that time, you find that the market is not in favor of you. It means that 1 pound is 3,200. But according to the contract that we have entered with that particular dealer, you are going to buy 1 pound at 3,050. Now you are going to save 150 per pound so that you can pay the UK supplier. But if you don't protect your position, you don't protect your cash flow, when you are going to buy by any rate prevailing in the market by that date, you are going to be the loser of 150 shillings per pound. So that's why we are saying the forward market is normally used for hedging. And then the second use of the forward market, we are talking about the forward market can be used for speculation. Speculation. For speculation, we are talking about the forward speculation and the spot speculation. Here, we are talking of spot speculation, and then forward speculation. Speculation is where someone is buying a currency and sell it when the price is up to make a profit. So the forward market can also be used for speculation. It means that a dealer may buy a currency, forward, and then at the forward, at the maturity, he may sell that currency in the market with a price which is high in the market. So when you go to the dealer in the forward market, maybe today, you go to the forward market, you agree that you buy £1 at Tanzania shilling, 3,000. That is per pound. But you have that information as your secret that you have got information that by the end of May, £1 will be 3,200. Now today you can go to the dealer and agree the rate at which you are going to buy the pound. So it means that you can buy that pound by 3,000. At the maturity, you can sell it in the market by 3,200. It means that you are making profit. But remember, that decision of buying it, you believe the price of pound is going to be up at the maturity. But it is not necessarily. Sometimes it may be down because you are a speculator. You don't have that assurance. So it means that the forward market can be used for speculation. Okay, and then the third uses of the forward market, we are talking about the third one. The third use of the forward market is for the arbitrage. Arbitrage. The forward market can be used to test the covered interest arbitrage. It can be used to evaluate opportunity of so-called covered interest arbitrage. Covered interest arbitrage. So when we are going to discuss about the parity relationship, interest rate parity, we are going to test it, whether there is an opportunity for interest rate arbitrator to make a profit in the money market. So the forward market will provide inputs that will enable to check whether opportunity for so-called covered interest rate arbitrage do exist. So in this case here, the forward market will provide forward differential. The forward differential, which will be derived from the forward market, will enable to check whether there is an opportunity for so-called covered interest arbitrage to make a profit. We are going to discuss it in detail later on how to compute the forward differential, which is the forward premium or discount of the traded currency. Okay, now, in the forward market, the dealer will provide the exchange rate. So the exchange rate provided by dealers in the forward market is known as the forward rate. The exchange rate, the price of the currency given by dealer in the forward market are regarded as a forward rate. Now we are going to see in the forward market, the forward rate can be given in different forms. Here we are saying the forward rate can be expressed in three ways. Can be expressed in three ways. The first one, that is at par. The second one will be at premium. The third one will be at discount. Online students, are we together?
Yes, yes, we are together.
Yes, doctor.
Yes,
Okay.
doctor, we are
At
together.
par, it means
For sure.
that the spot rate is equal to forward rate. Here we are saying a currency is, the exchange rate is expressed at par. The forward rate is given at par. Here it means that when we are saying at par, here it means that spot rate is equal to the forward rate. The forward rate. Example, you are given a spot rate for dollar, maybe is Tanzania shillings, maybe 2,500 per USD. That is a spot rate. The rate, exchange rate of dollar now. But 1 month forward, you can say, the forward rate, it could be 1 month forward, 3 months forward, or 6 months forward. You are given, let's say the forward rate that is 1 month forward. 1 month forward. The same USD will be trading at T shillings, 2,500 per USD. So here we are saying that dollar is trading at par 1 month forward. Why? Because the forward rate is equal to spot rate. Dollar is trading at par 1 month forward. The price of dollar today is equal to the price of the same dollar maybe 1 month forward or 6 months forward, which is the forward rate. So that is at par. Or sometimes in the forward market, the forward rate can be expressed at a premium. At a premium, here it means that the forward rate is greater than the spot rate. That is, we are saying a currency is trading at premium, at a forward premium. The forward rate is greater than the spot rate. A good example is like this. Maybe a spot rate for the same dollar, T shillings 2,500. That is per USD. But here, 1 month forward. 1 month forward, the same dollar will be trading at T shilling 2,600. per USD. Now you can see the exchange rate of $1 in 1 month forward is higher than the spot exchange rate of dollar. Now, because now the exchange rate of dollar is 2,500, but 1 month forward, 2,600. Now we are saying dollar is trading at a premium 1 month forward. Dollar is trading at premium 1 month forward. Why? Because the forward rate is greater than the spot rate. And here we are saying, you can see here appreciation of USD, because if 1 unit of dollar in the spot is Tanzania shillings 2,500, but 1 month forward later, the same unit of dollar is trading at shillings 2,600. Here, the Tanzania shillings has depreciated relative to USD. So we are saying USD has appreciated and Tanzania shillings depreciated. Now we are saying dollar is trading at a forward premium. We are saying appreciation of dollar relative to Tanzania shilling. But when we are talking about at discount, the forward rate is at discount. Here it means that the forward rate is less than the spot rate. The spot rate. For example, let's say you have a spot rate here of Tanzania shillings, that's say 2,500. That is for per dollar. That's the exchange rate of a dollar spot now. But 1 month forward, 1 month forward, the same USD is trading at 2,400 per USD. So the exchange rate of dollar has declined relative to Tanzania shillings. So the forward rate is 2,400, the spot rate is 2,500. So the forward rate is less than the spot rate, which means that dollar is trading at a forward discount relative to Tanzania shilling. It means that Tanzania shillings has appreciated relative to USD. There is depreciation of dollar and appreciation of Tanzania shillings 1 month forward. Now, in summary, we are calling forward premium or forward discount as a forward differential. Whether it's a premium or discount, we call them forward differential. Premium or discount are collectively called the forward differential. Forward differential. Forward differential. These are the forward differential. Whether it's a premium or discount, we call it a forward differential. Now, you can be required to express the forward premium or discount or forward differential either in monetary or in percentage. So the forward differential, premium, we are saying premium or discount, we call them forward differential, The forward differential can be expressed either in percentage or in monetary in monetary terms. In monetary terms. Now, in percentage, forward differential, which could be a premium or discount of the trade currency, can be computed by taking the spot rate, forward rate, minus the spot rate over forward rate times 12 over n times 100. That is expression of forward differential, either premium or discount, in percentage. You can take the forward rate minus the spot rate over spot rate over forward rate times 12 over n times 100. Remember, don't be confused with computation of bid-ask spread in percentage. A bid-ask spread, we are computing profit margin in the spot market by taking the asking rate minus bid rate over ask rate times 100. Are we together? But when we are taking the forward rate minus the spot rate over the forward rate times 12 over n, we are computing forward differential. It could be either premium or discount of the traded currency. And what is n? N is a length. Is a length of a forward contract. N here stand for the length. Length of the forward contract. Length of the forward contract. N. Maybe if the forward contract is of 3 months, it means that here you can put 3 months, because 12 stands for the months in the year. 1 year has 2 months, 12 months. So the forward market, the forward contract might be of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. So it means that here you have to put here the length of the forward contract. And if the length of the forward contract is given in days, you are supposed to convert those days into months. So that you can put here n in terms of month. For example, let's say you are given 180 days. 180 days is equal to 6 months. Isn't it? When divided by what? By 30. 6 months. So the 6 months should be substituted here, so as to get a forward differential, premium or discount of the trade currency. And that's why we are saying the forward differential, which is premium or discount of the trade currency, can be used to check opportunity of so-called covered interest arbitrage. So we are going to use this formula here when we are going to test the opportunity for covered interest arbitrage under interest rate parity, which we are going to discuss later. Okay, now, but in monetary terms, what you can do in monetary, the forward differential, when we express forward differential in monetary, what will you do? Here it means that, for example, you are given spot rate, maybe a spot rate of T shillings 2,500. That is per USD. And then 1 month forward. 1 month forward rate. The same dollar, you are given T shillings 3,600, no, 2,000 600 per USD. Now here, when you interpret the information given, you can find that dollar is trading at forward premium. It's trading at a premium 1 month forward. Why? It's trading at a premium because the forward rate is greater than the spot rate. Now, can you express in monetary by how much? That premium by how much? In monetary. In monetary, you have to take the forward rate minus what? Spot rate in monetary. Here it means that you have to take the 2,600. These are T shillings per dollar minus Tanzania shillings 2,500 per dollar. So it means that a dollar is trading at a forward premium at T shillings 100 per dollar, 100 per dollar. That is a monetary terms. So instead of expressing it in percentage, you can provide the forward rate in monetary terms. But a common expression used here is a forward is in percentage. We normally express it in percentage, whether it's a premium or discount. But what you are supposed to understand is that the changes, the discrepancy in exchange rate between the spot rate and the forward rate do indicate that the trade currency is either trading at a forward is premium or discount. One currency is expected to depreciate relative to the other currency. For example, here we are saying dollar is trading at a forward premium, which means that 1 month forward, dollar is going to appreciate relative to Tanzania shilling, which means that the 1 month forward, Tanzania shilling will depreciate relative to USD. So in opposite, you can say that based on this information, 1 month forward, TZD will be trading at a discount relative to USD. Okay, now the forward rate. Let's now discuss about we are having ways of presenting the forward rate. Now let's now go and discuss about the forward rate. The forward rate here okay. Tumesema forward differential tumesema ni forward rate minus spot rate over ni spot rate, like it's your forward rate, please. You have to forward rate times 12 over n times 100. That is a forward differential. This is going to be a spot rate, not a forward. So that is the spot we have to correct. Here it has to be a spot instead of the forward rate. Forward rate minus spot rate over spot rate. Okay, now let's discuss about expression of the forward rate. But now, before discussing about expression of the forward rate, let's talk about the concept of swap quotation versus outright rate. Swap quotation versus outright rate. Swap quotation versus outright rate or outright quotation. So in the forward market, the quotation can be given in swap or in outright. When we are talking about swap quotation, we mean rate provided to facilitate interbanks dealings or transactions. We are saying these rates are used for wholesale banking and not the retail banking. Here it means that the swap quotation are used between banks. One bank and another bank will use swap quotation. But the outright quotation are not used for interbank transaction. Rather, these rates are used by customers to facilitate customers' transactions. Here we are saying outright rate these are the forward rate used to facilitate customers, but not banks. We are talking a retail rate. So it means that when you go to the dealer, either you want to buy a foreign currency or you want to sell a foreign currency, you as a customer, you will find there is a quotation there. That quotation will indicate the price by which a dealer is willing to buy a foreign currency and the price by which a dealer is willing to sell. You can find there is a bid and asking, which are indicated in the quotation. We are saying those are known as the outright rate. Now, when you are given the outright rate, when you are given the swap quotation, you are supposed to convert this swap quotation into outright rate so that you can use those rates. But now, there are two ways of making up swap quotations. There are two ways. There are two ways of making swap quotation. The first way, that is in point form, in point form, and the second one is called the incent form. Yeah. Yes. Parece.
Dokta wa online ubao umepotea.
Okay. In sent form, in sent form, in point form and in sent form. Swap quotation can be given in either of the two, in point and in send. So in point form, it means that we have to observe rising and falling in point. Here we are saying in point form, you have to observe rising and falling in point. Rising and falling in point. But regarding the forward quotation, rising and falling in point. Rising means a currency is traded at premium. Rising means a currency is trading at forward premium while falling indicate that currency is trading. Currency is trading at forward discount. At forward discount. So in order to understand this concept, we can go straight forward to our questions. They have the hard copy. Okay, you have to open review questions on foreign exchange market. Question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3. Review questions on foreign exchange market. Question number 3. Now here, you are given swap rates. The heading is swap rate and outright rate quotation. The following quotes are received for spot, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, euro and pounds. Euro and pounds. Now you can see the quotation given here are for 2 commodities. One commodity is euro and another commodity is pound. But the price of euro, pardon? But the price of euro is given in terms of dollar, and the price of pound is given in terms of dollar. So in this particular case, we are having 2 commodities, which is euro and pound. But when you observe, the spot exchange rate of pound and euro are given in terms of dollar, but are already in outright rates. Now, when you go for the first row from the given table, you are given the exchange rate of the first row here. You are given that. You are given pound, then you are given dollar, 2.0015, and then you are given then 30. Here it means, remember our quotation, said yesterday. Here it means that, to put it clear, we are saying the spot rate is the same as the spot rate. You are given bid rate and ask rate, bid rate and ask rate, but here the trade currency is pound. That is dollar per pound. That is, the bid rate is 2.0015. The ask rate 30, it means you have to observe the last digit will be 2.00. Instead of 15, it's going to be what? 30. That is the ask rate. But now, this is a spot rate which are given in outright rates. But 1 month forward, look at the first column. On the first column, with respect to pound, you can find 19-17. So it means that 1 month here, you are given 19-17. Here it means this is bid and this is ask. But now, there is a falling in points. The points here are not rising, are falling from 19 to 17. But remember, this is 1 month forward rate given in swap. Now you want to use it. You have to convert swap quotation into outright quotation. When you observe the falling in points, you are supposed to deduct this point from the spot. Whenever you find the forward rates are falling in points, deduct it from the spot rate, which indicates that pound will be trading at a forward discount relative to dollar. So the dollar will appreciate relative to pound 1 month forward. Now to compute this, we can do like this. To convert swap quotation into outright quotation. Here, conversion, you have to convert swap rate into outright rate. Whenever you find there is a falling in point, this is a bid rate, and then you are having ask rate. But the spot rate is given in outright form. The spot rate here you are given, that is dollar per pound. Pound is a commodity. You have already the bid rate, which is 2.0015, and asking 2.0030. But the forward rate, 1 month forward rate, are falling from 19 to 17. When you observe falling trend, you have to deduct. Are we together? You have to less, deduct. Falling point. You have to deduct. You have to deduct what? 1 month forward? 19. And then deduct what? 17. Which means that here we are having 0.00 and here 0.00. Are we together? And then now here, you are going to arrive at 1 month forward outright rate. So 1 month forward outright rate. Outright rate. You will arrive there. Now here, you can conclude by saying that pound is trading at a forward discount relative to dollar. So the pound, the strength of pound has been weakened 1 month forward, because 1 month forward you pay less units of dollar to acquire a pound, which means now dollar is stronger as compared to pound 1 month forward. But all in all, in the forward rates, you have to observe falling and rising in point. When points are rising, the forward rate, you can find the trend. For example, when you look at the second column, you look at the second row. The second row. In the second row, you are given the exchange rate of euro in terms of dollar. So the spot exchange rate of euro here, which is $1.6960 as a bid, and ASCII, which is 1.6968 as the ask. When you go and look at 1 month forward rate for euro, is given in swap 4 to 6. That 4 is B, 6 is asked. Now, is it raising or falling? It is raising. That raising do indicate that the pound the euro has appreciated relative to dollar. So euro is trading at the forward premium relative to dollar. You have to pay more unit of dollar 1 month forward to acquire 1 unit of euro. Now, we have to convert this swap rate into outright rate. The second example here, for the second row, you have to convert, you can say here, you are bid rate, and then you are given ask rate, and then the spot rate are given in outright already, which is $1 per euro, because euro is a commodity according to this quotation. So here the bid is 1.6963, the ASCII 1.6968. But when you look at the first column, you are given 4 to 6. It means raising in point. Raising in point, it means that the trading currency, which is euro, is trading at a premium 1 month forward. At a premium, it means there is appreciation of euro. We must pay more units of dollar per euro. So it means that we have to add raising in point. Raising point. Raising point here, 4. Here is 4. Then 6. But remember here, 0.000, 0.000. Now you have to add. When you add, you arrive at 1 month forward outright rate of euro in terms of pound. So 1 month outright rate. 1 month outright rate. You have to add. So it means that 1 month forward, you will find that you have to pay more units of dollar per 1 unit of euro, which means that the value of euro has appreciated relative to dollar. So here we are saying dollar is trading at discount 1 month forward relative to euro. To make more interpretation, it means that here we can find sometimes it may happen. Maybe in Germany, the rate of inflation has declined relative to the rate of inflation in US. So that's why we can find that 1 month forward, the value of euro has appreciated relative to the value of US dollar. The same concept will prevail for the rest of the forward rates. When you go to the second column of the first row, that is of the pound, you can find falling in point, isn't it? You are going to deduct from the spot to arrive at 3 months forward outright rate, isn't it? When you go 6 months forward, you can observe 42 to 35 falling in point. You are going to deduct it from the spot rate. So spot rate is going to be there constant as $2.0015 to $2.0030. Is going to be the same. So it means that the spot rate is the one which will be adjusted in order to arrive at the forward outright rate. You are going to make that conversion when you realize that the forward rates are given either in point or in cent. So now I'm very comfortable now. You are competent with raising and falling in points. So now let's move to another concept, which is a cent form. In cent form, let us use a practical example. Question number 4. Question number 4. Question number 4 on the review question. Refer question number 4. Question number 4. Go straight forward to the requirement. Don't read the information in the table. Just go straight for the requirement. Read the requirement. Require. Calculate the cost or value in pounds to a customer who wishes to A. Buy US dollar 1,400 1 month forward from his bank. B. Buy Canadian dollar 25,000 spot. C. Buy Tanzania shilling 75,000 3 months forward. D. Sell Kenya shilling 28,000 1 month forward. E. Sell 20,000 3 months forward. F. Sells Canadian dollar 6,000 1 month forward. Now you can see the requirement is focusing on a customer who is going to transact in the forward market. But when you go back to the table given there, when you read the information, you are given the following information about currency rate for pound sterling spot and forward. So it means that here you are given the exchange rate, the price of pound in terms of USD, in terms of Canadian dollar, in terms of Kenya shillings, and in terms of Tanzania shillings. So according to the information given in the table here, you can find that our commodity is pound. So the price of pound is given in terms of USD, in terms of Canadian dollar, in terms of Kenya shillings, and in terms of Tanzania shillings. And then you can find that in the table you are given the spot rate, the first column. Go to the first column. The first column you are given the spot rate. When you observe all spot rates there are already in outright rates. You understand? But the forward rate, the second column, 1 month forward, you are given for the first row 0 point. Let me demonstrate like this. Let me demonstrate like this. So you are given the first column. The first column, you are given like this. You are given a bid. You are given the bid rate and ask rate. Bid rate and ask rate. Then you are given spot. Remember, these rates are for the pound. Pound is a commodity. So the first row, USD. So it's going to be spot, that is USD per pound. You are given the bid 1.5 to, that is bid and asking 1.5 to 10. So these rates are already in outright. But 1 month forward, you are given 1 month forward. 1 month, You are given the rate here, which is 0.32, then 0.27 CPM. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. Listen to me. Don't write anything. The forward rate here are given in cents. C means cent. PM stands for premium. PM means premium. C, we mean cent. PM, we mean premium. Whenever you find a D, stand for discount. So in our case here, you are informed that this PM, this is premium, kwamba is not of pound. Pound is a commodity. But 1 month forward, pound is not the pound which is traded at the forward premium. A currency traded at the forward premium is the US dollar. So if the US dollar will be traded at forward premium, you are supposed to deduct this PM from the spot to arrive at 1 month forward outright rate for pound in terms of USD. Are we together? No. This is premium you are supposed to deduct from the spot rate. Why are we deducting? Why are we deducting? Here, you should not use raising and falling in points. No. When you find PM, forget about raising and falling in points. Here it means that this premium is not of the traded currency. A currency traded at a premium is not of this commodity. A currency traded at the forward premium will be the other currency, which is this one here. So this is premium here, forward premium, is not of pound, is of USD. So dollar will be traded at a premium 1 month forward. It means the value of dollar has appreciated relative to pound. So it means that in 1 month forward, we are going to pay less unit of dollar per 1 unit of pound. That's why we have to deduct from the spot rate. That's the point. So that's why we are deducting premium. When you find it in, you have to add. Because discount is not of a commodity quoted direct, is of another commodity. Now here, to make that conversion, is going to be like this. This is a bit rate, and then ask rate. We are making conversion now. So the spot rate here, we are talking about the dollar per pound, and then the spot are already in swap, already in outright form, 1.52, and ASCII 1.5210, we have to do what? We are supposed to deduct premium. You have to less the premium. But here, you are given C, PM, cent. Lazima ugawanye kwa 100 ili ije kwenye kamili. Sawa? Kwa ina maana kwamba 0.32 divide by 100. Kwa sababu kwenye cent zije kwenye nani kamili. Ni ngapi sasa? 0.003 and here 0.002 what? You have to deduct. So that can arrive at 1 month forward outright rate. How much is it? You have to deduct. Once you deduct, end up with less unit of dollar because the value of dollar has appreciated. relative to pound. That premium is of dollar, is not of pound. But when you observe rising and falling, it means rising and falling. Go direct to the trade card. Online student, are we together? How are you, student?
Yes, doctor, we're together.
Doctor.
Okay, sir.
Doctor, sorry, I have
Okay.
one question.
Yeah.
How can I differentiate between outright rate na swap? Yaani kwamba nikiona nini najua hapa ni swap,
Swap rates.
iko quoted.
Swap rates are used for interbank dealing. Kwa mfano, when you look katika hii table hapa, unaona kuna 1 month forward umepewa 0.32 to 0.27 cm. Hii forward rate here haziko kwenye outright rate. Ukishaona kuna PM cent au kuna cent this, ina maana kwamba hizo ni swap quotation. Ukishaona kuna raising in point, imeandika sticker point, kuna raising and falling in point, hizo ni swap quotation. Lazima uziconvert into outright quotation.
Shukran.
Okay. And then here what I'm trying to make here is just to interpret the information given. And then when you go to the third row of this table, you are given information like this. The third row, you are given the price of pound in terms of Kenya shilling. You are given the bid rates, and then ask rate. Then here you are given the spot rate, that is Kenya shilling per pound. Cash per pound, the spot rate you are given 24.05 quarter, then that is bid and asking 28.061 over 4. Okay, now listen to me, student. Don't do like any normal basic mathematics. Make conversion of this. This quarter means 25. So it means that it's the same as 5. And here, 28.0625. Don't take 4 times 24.05 plus 1 over 4. No. With big no. It means it's a style of quotation. This quarter, it means that 25. And then, so it means that you can put it in a way that you can understand. Okay, now, I'm going to explain. When you go direct to the requirements A, calculate the cost of value in pound to a customer who wishes to buy USD 1,400 1 month forward from his bank. A customer who wishes to buy USD 1 month forward. When you go to the table there, you can find that in the first row, you are given the price of pound in terms of USD. So it means now that customer would like to buy USD 1,400 from his bank 1 month forward. So 1 month forward, it means that when you look 1 month forward, that is USD per pound, you can find that it is given, the rates are given in swap quotation, not for customers. Are we together? You are supposed to convert the swap rate into outright rates. From there now you can determine how much pound should that customer pay to the dealer to acquire USD 1,400. So I'm going to work for the first one here. So A of the requirement, just a solution. You are supposed to convert 1 month forward swap rate into outright rate. So you have to convert swap rate into 1 month outright rate. Then you are given the bid rate, then ask rate. And then you are given the spot rate. The spot rate, that is $USD per pound. You are given these rates, the spot 1.5200, ask 1.5210. But remember, 1 month forward are given in outright, which means that you are given in swap. So you are supposed to do what? To deduct it from the spot, isn't it? So I have to deduct premium. Why are we deducting? It means that a currency trading at the forward premium is dollar and not pound. Here is going to be 0.00 what? 32, 0.002 what? 7. Okay, now here, 1 month forward outright rate, 1 month forward outright rate. 1 month forward outright rate. When you deduct, how much? 0 point? 1 point? 1.5? 1? And then ask 183. Okay, now, so here, listen very carefully. It means that this quotation, this is dollar per pound. So a dealer is there selling and buying pounds. That customer is there, is in need of dollar. If you are in need of dollar, you must go there with pounds. Are we together? So when you go there with pound to the dealer, these quotations are given by the dealer. Dealer is doing a business of buying and selling pound. Pound is a commodity to the dealer. When you go there, a dealer is going to receive that commodity at a buying rate. So it means that here, this rate here will be used to determine how many pounds should a customer pay in order to receive USD 1,400. Are we together, online students?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
So it means that the bid rate here will be used to determine the cost to the customer. Is going to cost the customer how much pound should the customer pay to the dealer to receive USD 1,400. The dealer here is going to use the bid. What if that customer goes there? That customer is in need of pounds. Which rate a dealer is going to use? The ask rate. Are we together? Because the dealer is giving out the pound. a commodity which you are trading. So if a customer is there with a commodity which you are trading, you have to receive it at a bid rate. At a bid rate. So now you have to use this. So it means that if dollar, we are saying if dollar, let me do like this. Okay. Now, ile tunasema ile bid rate tunaitumia, ndio hivyo. Tunasema bid rate, tunasema USD. Unasema USD. Ile bid rate ni ngapi? 1.568 is equal to what? To 1 unit of pound, isn't it? A customer who is having a customer who is in need of USD 1,400. How much should that customer pay as a pound? How many pounds should a customer pay to receive USD 1,400? Cross multiplication. You can put it X here, you can divide. How much is it? Pounds dash. This will be a cost to the customer. Okay. How much is pounds? Pound in that. Same. Pardon? Whatever. Because these are the points. It's going to cost you pound 922 ili kupata dola 1,400. Unaangalia zile quotation kwamba huyu tunaangalia kwamba huyu customer dealer anafanya nini. Lazima ujue huyo dealer yeye anauza, anafanya biashara ya kuuza na kununua nini. Nikimpelekea kile ambacho ndio anachokiuza na kununua, atakichukua kwa bei ya chini. Nikienda pale nataka currency, lakini ile ambayo anayoiuza atalipa kwa asi, haiwezi kumake profit. So it means that you are supposed to make for the rest of the questions. Okay, have a break of 10 minutes so that we can move forward to discuss about parity relationships. 10 minutes break online. Students.
Dr. Samani.
10 minutes for break.
Dr. Samani kidogo.
Tukishasema break tutarudi utakuja kuuliza utakapoingia.
Haya, haina shida Dr.
Uliza tukusaidie, labda naweza tukusaidia brother.
Nashukuru. Kwa mfano angetumia pound, ina maana tungetumia asclet, ndio hivyo?
Ndio manake. Kama tungekuwa tunanunua pound, yani swali ingesema buy a pound ile 1,400 tungetumia asclet.
Tungetumia asclet, ndio hivyo?
Upo sahihi.
Nashukuru.
Haya.
Kaka Manyala.
Nakusikia bosi.
Samahani ndugu yangu. Mimi naomba kuuliza hapa, kuna kitu sijaelewa. Hapa kwenye requirement anasema huyu customer yeye anataka azinunue dola.
Ndio.
Alafu kwenye hizi quotation, maana yake hizi, mimi ni customer, quotation naenda kuzikuta let's say kama kwenye zile bureau de change au bank, si ndio?
Ndio.
Maana yake kwenye hizi quotation wanavyosema ni bid and ask. Maana yake wakisema ile bid wao wana buy, na wakisema ask maana yake wao wanauza kwa price ile, si ndio?
Ndio.
Sasa mimi ndo naenda kununua, maana yake mimi nitatumia bidi au nitaenda kutumia aski?
Wewe unaenda kununua.
Mimi naenda kununua, wao wananiuzia.
Ndio. Unaenda kununua nini? Kwa cha kwanza watakiwa ujiulize. Umesikia? Watakiwa ujiulize commodity yako ni nini katika swali lako. Unaelewa? Commodity yako wewe ni pound.
Ndio.
Kwa hiyo unapoenda benki ile pound unaenda kuiuza ama unaenda kuinunua? Ndo hapo
Naenda
rodi.
Okay.
Si hapa tunaenda kuiuza ili tununue US.
Okay.
Mbona tungekwenda kununua na maana tunataka US tungenunua pound. Tungetumia. Wewe unajiangalia kwamba nini ulichonacho mkononi unapoenda kwa yule.
Okay.
Je, hiyo commodity yako unaenda kununua commodity au unaenda kuuza commodity? Ukienda kuuza commodity utatumia bid. Ukienda kununua commodity utatumia ask.
Basi sawa, asante.
Haya.
Manyala.
Naam.
Samahani kidogo. Unajua pale mara kwanza kulikuwa na alikuwa anataka niulize dokta, ila dokta yuko.
Unasikika kwa mbali?
Na nasema hivi nilikuwa nataka nimuulize dokta pale, ila dokta yuko sana.
Unasikika kwa mbali kaka Kabago, unasikika kwa mbali sana.
Hapo. Hapo nanisikia?
Nakusikia.
Yaani pale nini mara kwanza nilikuwa nataka nimuulize dokta hivi pale kwenye kutafuta ile forward differential. Manake any difference, any tunasema utofauti wowote ule, either discount au premium.
Ndio.
Utofauti wowote huo huwa inakuwa ni differential. Sasa kwa na siku zote amekwambia forward ile kwamba ile forward rate ikiwa ni kubwa kuliko spot rate, manake that is the premium. Tunapata premium hapa. Na pia alisema ikitokea spot rate ikiwa ni kubwa kuliko, si ndio? Forward rate hiyo ni discount. Sasa mmoja anasema it is common kwamba kwamba lazima be expressed in percent. Swali langu, kuna any negative percent?
Wewe utachokielezea ile percent kwamba ni discount au premium.
Okay.
Utachoelezea ni ile percent unaipata. Hiyo percent unaipata ni discount au premium. Yake ni nini? Maana anatumia yale maneno relatives.
Relative, okay. Basi nashukuru, asante bosi wangu.
Awe Mau, kama 1/4 ni sawasawa na hiyo 25. Je, hiyo 3/8 sawasawa na ngapi?
Aisee, unachekesha jamaa yangu.
Saidie sasa, sio unacheka ndo malebo.
Nafikiri hapo itakuwa hiyo 0.375. 0.375.
Umeigawanya au umefanyaje? Yaani nataka nijue hapo.
Nimegawanya hiyo. Kama alipofanya hiyo moja ganya kwa 4.
Hapo sababu ndo tumeelewa.
Omi unaigawa kama alivyosema mdau hapo, unaigawa.
Hapo
namba yote
nimeelewa.
unachukua chini unagawa chini unaongezea pale mbele.
Poa, shukrani.
Omi.
Mlay.
Naam.
Samahani bosi wangu, system ilinitoa kidogo, ni network pale
Ndio.
kwenye question number 3 kutafuta outright rates. Hebu nielekeze kidogo japo kwa ufupi tu.
Yaani hapa tumepewa spot rate ambao ni dola ilikuwa na pound. Ya dola ambayo ilikuwa ni 2.0015, hii ilikuwa ni bidi, alafu aski itakuwa ni 2.0030. Sasa 1 month imetoka 19 kwenda 17, maana yake imefanyaje? Imeshuka. Kwa hiyo kwenye bidi tutaenda kupunguza na hiyo 19, alafu kule kwenye nini, kwenye aski hiyo tutaenda kupunguza na 17, kwa sababu imefanyaje? Imepungua in value. Ingelikuwa imeongezeka tungezijumlisha. Ndio concept iko hivyo.
Kama ingeongezeka tunge hadi
Ingeongezeka ungeenda kuyadi. Kama inapungua unaenda unaipunguza.
Wakuu, yani katika semester hii moja ya somo ambalo utakayopata A ni hili hapa. Sema linahitaji mazoezi sana yani. Ni somo ambalo lina concept ndogo ndogo, kila concept utakayofanyia kazi. Kwa hiyo yani hakikisha unafanya mazoezi mengi sana. Ni somo rahisi sana hili. Ila sema linahitaji mazoezi sana sana yani. Pige sana maswali mengi yani. Concept zikae kichwani.
Kupata. Ila hii sasa ya kujua ya kubai ipi na nini, inabidi akili itulie hapa. Yaani kama ile la leo hili ya hiyo buy dola 1400. Hapo watu wengi tungeenda kwenye ask.
Yaani umesikia? Yaani hapo ni kizangele, Kiingereza, Kikristo tokeo uwe nacho kama cha desi. Hapa ndo uwanja wa desi. Yaani anaenda kufanya nini sokoni? Umeona? Na unatakiwa ujue atatumia hizo rate gani. Kwa mfano swala la pili pale unaweza kaingia kichwa ukajua unaenda kwenye maforward, kumbe ni spot rate za kawaida tu. Pengele B. Kwa hiyo unatakiwa ni uwe makini sana na Kiingereza vile vile. Ani waga anaficha kwenye Kiingereza. Yaani maswali yake ni marahisi, anaficha kwenye Kiingereza na hizo concept.
Kwa mfano ya Tanzania shillings, nitaongeza nitapunguza.
Kwa hiyo hizi swap rate manake lazima moja iwe ni bid rate na nyingine iwe ni ask rate.
Ndio. Inayotangulia ndio inakuwa bid rate, alafu inaofuata ndio inakuwa ask rate. Sasa mfano kama ile swali alitanguliza 2.0015 afaka kadeshi 30. Ina maana ile bid rate ndio inakuwa hiyo 2.0015, alafu ask rate itakuwa ni 2.0030. 30. Sasa kuipeleka kwenye 1 month au 3 month, 6 month unaangalia, je, hizi mbili ulizopewa ya kwanza ni kubwa kuliko inayofuata au ya kwanza ni ndogo kuliko inayofuata? Kwa hiyo ukiona imekuwa ndogo inayofuata na maana patakuwa wiresi, lakini unaangalia kwamba wewe ni hela uliokuwa nayo ni ipi, ni dola au ni paundi kwa hapo. Kwa kesi yetu ni dola. Kwa hiyo na maana dola inapungua, utakuja kuitoa. Lakini kama ingekuwa imeanza 17 alafu inafuata 19, ina maana inaongezeka. Kwa hiyo utazijumlisha.
Shukran sana.
Omi, Omi,
Naam.
Misai.
Naam.
Nikiangalia hili swali mwalimu alikotokea huku juu tumepata kwenye bidlet 1.5 1.18 alafu kwenye ASCII jibu 1.5183. Sasa hii 1.5168 ameitoa wapi?
Swali la tatu.
Hii ambayo iko kwenye display hapo.
Hilo swali la tatu, hilo swali la 4.
Ni la 4?
Hilo swali la 4.
Yes, ni swali la 4. Okay.
Yani kwamba tulikuwa na spot rate ya 1.5200. Hiyo ni bid, alafu ASCII ilikuwa ni 1.5210. Alafu tukapewa 1 month ambayo ilikuwa ni senti 0.32 na senti 0.27 premium. Sasa hizi senti inabidi kwanza uzigawanye kwa 100. Kwa hiyo hii ya kwanza itakuwa ni 0.0032, nyingine itakuwa ni 0.0027. Akasema unaangalia hapa currency ya kwetu.
Unazilesi kwa sababu ni premium.
Tunalesa sababu ni premium. Na kwa sababu ya nini? Ya currency tulikuwa nayo sisi kwetu ni pound, alafu hapa imekuwa quoted in dollar. Ina maana dola thamani yake itapanda against ya currency tulikuwa nayo. Kwa hiyo ndo tunakuja kuiless kwa sababu premium. Lakini kama currency yetu ingekuwa ni dola na hapa na kwa trade premium, ina maana tungeiadi. Kwa hiyo tusikalili muda wote premium na less.
Hapo sina shida. Hii hapa aliyokuja kutafutia 1.5168 is equal to dola 1.568 sawa sawa na 1 pound.
Yani sasa hiyo 1.2.5200 akaja kuijumlisha na hiyo 0.0032 ndo akapata hiyo. Kwa hiyo ikawa ya bid. It is the cost of value in pound to customer who wishes buy US dollar UF 1,400. Kwa hiyo akasema wewe unataka kununua hizo dola 1,400 ili uje kupata hiyo pound. Sawa,
Unasema anajumlisha?
Hizo amezitoa.
Umesitoa upate hiyo?
Hiyo kwa ngapi?
Nikichukua 1.5200 nikatoa
toa na
0.5200 nikatoa 0.0032.
32.
Sawa. Umeelewa? Nikukosea. Thank you.
Yara sije uishi kusoma wote.
Hello, Omisai. Hello.
Naam.
Sasa kuna concept hapo bwana naomba ukirudia. Yaani umesema sio muda wote tutakuwa tuna less premium kwa sababu labda ukiangalia hizo rate ya bid rate na ask rate imeshuka. Umesema sio wakati wote. Kwa maana tuta
Eh,
rely kwenye kupanda na kushuka. Yaani kuna concept hapo utaka kukielezea.
ah, una rely na kupanda kwa kushuka, lakini sasa unaangalia pale inayopanda au inashuka ni currency ya kwako hiyo ambao ulikuwa na wewe, au ni currency nyingine ambao unataka kuinunua. Mfano kwenye swali letu sisi pale currency yetu base ilikuwa ni paundi, sawa.
Ndio.
Alafu
Ndio.
huku inakuwa traded ni dola, inakuwa traded against na paundi. Sasa
Ndio.
dola ndo imekuwa traded ni premium, ina maana imepanda. Kwa hiyo tutachukua dola kidogo kuweza kununua nini, pound.
Sahihi.
Sijui umeelewa. Kwa hiyo hapo mwalimu ndo alisema tutailesi, kwa sababu thamani ya dola imefanyaje, imepanda against ile currency yetu ambayo sisi tuko nayo. Lakini kama ingelikuwa ni currency ya pound ile ile ambayo tuko nayo alafu iko traded ni premium, tungeijumlisha na maana imekuwa rising,
Okay, sawa sawa.
haija fall.
Sawa, nimekupata. Asante.
Omi,
Naam.
Sina maswali ambayo alikuwa anafanya mwalimu hapo, alikuwa anayasoma. Kama mnayo naomba mturushie kwenye grupu. Alikuwa naona
Maswali yapo kwenye grupu toka jana wadau. Maswali yapo kwenye grupu toka jana.
Toka jana?
Toka jana tumetuma kwenye grupu. Kwanza hapo kwenye e-learning yako, pia kwenye grupu toka jana maswali.
Poa.
Ila pia naona kuna mdau kashaya tupei hapo, anaitwa Tinago.
Ya.
What will say? Okay. Okay, good evening.
Good evening,
Online
doctor.
students.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening,
Are we
doctor.
together?
Yeah,
Yes,
We are
doctor.
together.
Together, sir.
Okay, now we are going to start another topic, which is parity relationships. In the parity relationships, we are going to discuss various aspects, which is we are going to start with the meaning relationships. What does it mean by parity relationships? Then another aspect we are going to discuss are the type of parity relationship and their application in the international finance. We are having a purchasing power parity, which is noted by PPP, purchasing power parity. And then the second one will be a Fisher effect. That is another type of parity, FE, noted by FE. The third one will be international Fisher effect. International Fisher effect, denoted by IFE. The fourth one is interest rate parity. Interest rate parity, denoted by R. IRP, interest rate parity, and finally is another parity known as forward rate as unbiased predictor of future spot rate. Forward rate and as unbiased predictor of future spot rate. Forward rate as unbiased predictor of future spot rate. So this will be our area of concentration as far as economics of international finance is concerned. Okay, now let's talk about parity relationships. What does it mean by parity relationships? When we are talking of parity relationships, we mean macroeconomic relationships between nations. Parity relationships means macroeconomic relationships among nations. When we are talking about macro relationships, macro, we are having macroeconomic variables. When we are talking about macro, economic variables, we are having variables like inflation is a macroeconomic variable. We are having interest rate. We are having a money supply. We are having taxation. We are having balance of payment. These are examples of macroeconomic variables. When we are talking of macroeconomic variables, are the factors in which, when that factor change, is going to change the entire economy. The entire economy will change. That's why we are saying macro. The effect of changes of a variable is going to cover the entire economy, the entire nation. We are saying macro economic variable. For example, the inflation rate. If the inflation rates change, either by increase or decrease, the entire economy of the country is going to be affected by that inflation. The price will be affected. Consumption, the amount of goods and services will be affected because of changes on the inflation. The same apply to the interest rates, money supply, taxation, balance of payment, even the international trade. Now, when we are talking of parity relationships, we are talking about macroeconomic relationships among nations. When the two nations, for example, inflation in Kenya and inflation in Tanzania, what are the relationships? Parity. If inflation in Kenya, the rate of inflation in Kenya is 10%, and the rate of inflation in Tanzania is 9%, what does it mean? What are economic implications regarding movement of goods and services and investment between these two countries? When the inflation between two countries differ, what will be the impact on the exchange rate of the currency of these two countries? So here we are studying so-called parity relationships. And then we are saying when the relationship hold, there is no opportunity for so-called speculator and arbitrator to make a profit. Here, in short, we are saying parity holds. And we are saying market is efficient. In this case, the market is said to be efficient. No imperfection in the market. No imperfection. There is no opportunity which can be utilized to make a profit. A good example, we can use one variable which is inflation. Maybe inflation rate, let's say the rate of inflation in Tanzania, just the example, maybe if it is 10% or 9%, and the rate of inflation in Kenya is the same, 9%. Here we are saying parity hold. Parity hold. The value of T shillings is the same as the value of Kenya shillings. It means that the two currencies, Tanzania and Kenya, will have the same value because the rate of inflation is the same. Even the interest rate is the same. We are saying parity hold. Market is efficient. Parity hold. There is no opportunity for so-called arbitrators and speculators to make abnormal profit. But under normal circumstances, you cannot find a country in which the inflation rate is similar, one country to another country. There must be discrepancies or differences in inflation rate because these countries, they differ in various dimensions. Maybe on endowment of natural resources, we differ in technology, we differ in climate, we differ even in population. So we differ in various aspects. So that's why we can find that one country is more developed than another one because of these different factors. So it means that there must be discrepancy on inflation rate. Now, a parity we are saying parity relationship is macroeconomic relationship between nations, and we are saying these relationships hold in the efficiency market. And once they hold, there is no opportunity for arbiter and speculator to make a profit. Under normal circumstances, you cannot find efficient market in the real world, because these countries, they differ in various dimensions. We are differ in technology, we differ in distribution of natural resources, even population, even production. So those discrepancies or differences do create different rates of inflation, and therefore the currency, the exchange rate is going to differ between one country and another country. Now, when we are trying to find out the relationship between nations, we consider these macroeconomic variables. And once you consider these economic variables, you can even identify whether there is opportunity for profit making or not. Once you find opportunity for profit making, it means that there are imperfections in the market. Imperfections, they differ. They differ, one country differ with another nation in terms of technology, in terms of endowment of natural resources, in terms of population, in terms of production. So it means that these differences do create a different value of their currencies. Now, from that particular logic, maybe let's say, let's assume that you are trying to relate inflation in Tanzania, let's say inflation rate in Tanzania. Inflation, let's say Tanzania, let's say 10%. Example, maybe UK 8%, a single digit. The relationship between the inflation rate in Tanzania, inflation rate in the UK. In TZ, we are using Tanzania shillings. In the UK, they are using pound. Now, it means that difference in inflation rate do influence the exchange rate between the two currencies. Here it means that pound should be superior in relation to Tanzania. You know why? In UK, the inflation rate is low, while in Tanzania, inflation rate is high. And then what do you expect in the exchange rate of pound in terms of T shillings? Tanzania shillings is going to be weak relative to pound, because in UK, the rate of inflation is low. But now, here you compare these macroeconomic variables, that is parity relationship. Now, because of differences in inflation rate, can you use that opportunity to make a profit? What will you do so that you can obtain profit is through speculation or arbitrage? In Tanzania, the currency is weak, but in the UK, the pound is strong. So the UK, they can come to buy raw material from Tanzania and make a product in UK because the pound is strong. So it means that discrepancies or differences in economic variables indicate imperfections in the market, which provide opportunity for speculators and the arbiter to make a profit. You may even relate interest rate of one nation with interest rate of another nation. How does changes on interest rates do affect the exchange rate of the currency of these two countries? There we are talking about parity relationships. Okay, now nataka kucreate nyingine. New slide. Wait. Online. Are we together? Online student?
Yes, doctor. Yes,
Good
doctor.
evening.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, now we are going to discuss these types of bank relationships. We are going to start with the purchasing power parity. The first one, which is purchasing power parity, which is noted by PPP. The purchasing power. A purchasing power. If someone is asking you, what does it mean by purchasing power? Purchasing power is a strength of a currency. A strength of a currency is a purchasing power of that currency. Strength of a currency, we call it a purchasing power. That currency, if it is weak, it means the purchasing power of that currency is also weak. If that currency is strong, is having a strong purchasing power. Now, the purchasing power parity can be discussed under two versions. Here we are saying can be discussed. It can be discussed under two versions. The first version is absolute version. The second one is known as relative version. Absolute version and relative version. The absolute version is known as law of one price. That is law of one price. Law of one price. LOP is noted by that. Now let's discuss about absolute version. Absolute version. Which is law of one price. LOP means law of one price. The law of one price says that a commodity will cost the same regardless of the country in which that commodity is purchased. The commodity is stated that commodity will cost the same regardless of the country in which it has been purchased. Regardless of the country in which that commodity has been purchased. The price is going to be the same. The commodity is going to have the same price. Commodity, let's say in Tanzania, maybe one bag of maize in Tanzania will have the same price as one bag of maize in Kenya, in South Africa. We are saying commodity will cost the same regardless of the country in which the commodity is purchased. So, under normal circumstances, even within a country, even within a region, you cannot find a commodity with the same price. Why? Remember, difference in prices will be caused by so many factors. We are having transaction cost, we are having tax, we are having transportation. So it means that you can find the same commodity will have different price in different areas. Kwa mfano, ukaenda pale Mbeya, mkungu wa ndizi pale Mbeya Tukuyu, unaweza ukauzua mkungu wa ndizi labda shilingi 1,000 mkungu wa ndizi kwa mfano, lakini pale Dar es Salaam mkungu wa ndizi uko shilingi 20,000, lakini mkungu ule ule, kwa nini ule mkungu wa ndizi unatofautiana in terms of price? Ni kutokana production yake imefanyika katika, lazima kuna transportation cost. Kuchukua mkungu wa ndizi kutoka Tukuyu mpaka pale Mbeya mjini lazima ulipe transport, lazima ulipie ushuru. Yule mfanya biashara pia lazima yake profit margin yake pale. Kwa ina maana kwamba kuna transaction cost pale katikati. Na ukichukua mkungu wa ndizi kutoka pale Mbeya mjini unauleta Dar es Salaam pia price inaenda una contribute kwenye discrete price ya price. Kwa hiyo tunasema in order for the law of one price to operate, there must be assumption. Now, the law of one price will operate under the following assumptions. We are saying the law of one price. One price will operate under the following. These assumptions are not realistic. This one, in order for the commodity to cost the same, the first assumption we are saying, no transaction cost. No transaction costs. There must be no transaction cost. The transaction costs we are talking about, remember, when we are talking about the production, where we produce a commodity, we have to make that, we have to incur transport, maybe advertising, maybe banking, insurance is going to be there, warehousing is going to be there, we are going to have retailers, we are going to have wholesalers. These people have to be paid to make sure that the commodity will reach the final user, a consumer. That is a commerce. Transaction costs should be incurred. But in order to make this law of one price to operate, such as warehousing, such as tariffs and whatever. And the second assumption is that commodity should be homogeneous. The commodity homogeneous. Commodity. We are talking about the similar commodity, identical. If a commodity is identical in terms of quantity, in terms of quality, there is no uniqueness. The price is going to be the same because that commodity is identical. But if you find that commodity differ in terms of maybe quality, in terms of quantity, in terms of color, may create discrepancy in terms of price. The third No government intervention. No government intervention. That is another condition. No government intervention in terms of taxation, in terms of quotas, interventions. No government interventions in terms of tax, in terms of quotas. When we are talking about different rates of tax, it means that when a government imposes tax on a particular commodity, the price of that commodity is going to be high because a consumer is going to pay a price by which tax is inclusive. So the discrepancy in prices may be caused because of the government intervention. So no government, no barriers from the government. No barriers from the government on that particular product. No government barriers. Here we mean that a commodity will cost the same. Okay, now, when you challenge these assumptions, this law of one price is not realistic, simply because it ignores factors which are the determinant of the price. A price of a particular commodity has been determined by so many factors, like production costing, transaction costing, the tax paid. These are the determinants of the price of a particular commodity. Unaweza ukaenda pale Kariakoo, unaenda kununua kitu fulani, ukwambia kuna bei iko juu, anakwambia kodi imepanda. You see? Something like that. Gharama za usafirishaji zimefanya jamani, zimepanda. Ndio maana price zimeenda juu. But you can see the law of one price is not realistic in the real world. It doesn't take into account the inflation factors which are the determinants of the price of the commodity. That's why the law of one price here, as far as purchasing power is concerned. But according to the law of one price, it means that one can determine the exchange rate between two currencies. For instance, when you look at the Helmfungua parity relationships, review questions, tunatumia kwenye Moodle, tuangalie kuna kaswali fulani nimekaweka pale. Au labda, before looking that, let's assume, suppose, you may take note of this, take note somewhere. Take note somewhere, example. Suppose a kilo of rice is sold for Tanzania shillings 1,000 in Tanzania. Suppose a kilo of rice is sold for Tanzania shillings 1,000 in Tanzania, while the price of the same kilo of rice, while the price of the same kilo of rice in South Africa is South Africa rand. In Tanzania is sold at Tanzania shilling 1,000. That is per kilo. of rice. That is per kilo. But in South Africa is South Rand 25. Now, required of South Africa Rand in terms of Tanzania, that is citizen per South Africa Rand. You want to know Tanzania shillings. Now you can, according to the law of money price, you can determine the exchange rate of the two currencies through in South Africa and in Tanzania. So it means that here will Tanzania shilling. Okay, pardon. Tanzania shillings okay. We are saying 1 kilo of rice, Tanzania shillings, 1,000. Then you can divide by the price of 1 kilo of rice in South Africa, which is South Africa Rand 25. Now, the exchange rate of South Africa Rand in terms of T shillings is equal to T shillings. How much is it? Pardon? 40 per South Africa Rand. Now you can find that through law of money price. You can determine the exchange rate between two currencies. But now you can challenge that. That exchange rate is not realistic. You know why? It has assumed that no transaction cost, no government intervention, commodity or product is homogeneous. So this assumption do prevail in the ideal world, not in the realistic world. Any commodity you have to incur production cost. You have to incur transaction cost. Once a commodity is being produced, you have to incur production cost. And transaction cost must be incurred in making that commodity available to the consumer for use. Once the production is being done, we need the distribution of commodity to reach the final user. So in between, you can find there is commerce, exchange and distribution of the goods. In between, the transport has to be incurred. Bank should play part. In the chain of distribution, retailers, wholesalers, exporters, importers. We need agents, dealers, and brokers. Now you can find that all these activities are being done for the purpose of making a commodity to be available to the final user. So under normal circumstances, you cannot ignore the transaction cost. So it means that the law of money price is not reliable because it ignores factors which are the determinants of the price of the commodity. Now, so that's why the law of money price has been challenged by introduction of a new version under purchasing power parity, which is relative version. Because relative version take into account the inflation. Now, the second, that is a relative version. Relative version of purchasing power parity has been introduced as a result of weakness embedded with law of money price. The law of money price is not realistic. It ignores factors which are the determinants of the price, like transaction cost, like government intervention, like what? Uniqueness of the product. Now, the law of money price takes into account the inflation, determinant of the price of the commodity. So according to the relative version, the exchange rate between two currencies should be adjusted with inflation rate of the two currencies. Now we are saying, in this version, the exchange rate should be adjusted with the inflation rate. That inflation rate is determinant for the price of commodity. Sasa mvua inanyesha hapa nisikia vizuri, itabidi sasa tubadilishe kipindi. Mvua inanyesha ni online, are we together?
We are hearing with the
Hatukusikii vizuri mwalimu.
Sasa
Okay.
Dokta, hilo wazo safi, hilo wazo safi.
Let's
Hatukusikii
wind
vizuri.
up our session. We shall discuss this tomorrow.
Okay,
Kesho,
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
kwa hiyo mvua inanyesha kubwa sana au kwanza kusikia.
Ndio maana ukawa dokta wewe.
Asante, kesho.
Nashukuru.
Ubarikiwe
thank you
sana.
doctor. Hata muda
Asante.
umekwisha.
Moto ulikuwa unawaka, maji yalikuwa yamelowana.
Hajatoka jamani.
Maji yameroana.
Jana umepita mwingi leo, tunakushukuru.
Hata fire alikuwa afanyi kazi.
Tumia mababu wafanye kazi kidogo.
Kuna yule nimemwona mtu wa Machi amesema kwamba hizi video zinatumwa wapi. Kuna magroup ya maana mafu. Kwa hiyo ujitahidi yani uingie kwenye magroup, kila kitu kinatumwa. Yeah.
Desi kashaleta mvua. Desi kaleta mvua Arusha.
Desi yuko vizuri.
Akomi.
Maana si wengine tuna Kongoe huku. Ilikuwa ni tabu tu, ngoja tuanze safari.
Nabidi niende darasani siku moja. Darasa zuri sana. Omisai. Darasa zuri sana.
Zuri. Mimi nilienda siku moja kwenye kufanya test physical, ndo nikajua tunakosa vitu vingi sana sisi watu online kwa kweli. Itabidi tufanye mpango siku twende tukasome Arusha. Basi muona hapo kama Dr. Mlay hapo.